We are live. See if anybody comes in here. Maybe not. What's up? Little Mike Coach, you are the first. Kevin and Ollie, Gary, Nick Miles, Anthony T, what is up? Larry Fisher, Trucker's Table, what's up? Nittany Lion, how's it going? Evening, Ralph, what's up? James Neal, Dennis Smith. Getting some people in here tonight. It is Saturday night on a holiday weekend. I hope everybody's being safe out there. You're able to, be able to go see pay your respects to loved ones that we've lost from our military. Nothing Woody's only half listening. So, figure we get some people in here and then we'll start talking. We've only got 15 people in here. Maybe I should have put Red Viking Trucker on the title. Ralph's Trucking, what's up? So, get some people in here and we'll pick a subject to talk about, shall we? Hauling furniture. Do you haul personal furniture or like office furniture? 4-day weekend, I never get to catch lives anymore, says Larry. It's nice. Yeah, there hasn't been too many live feeds in my circle of people that I follow this weekend. Supposed to be doing a Memorial Day vacation at a downtown hotel. They screwed up our reservations at Whataburger and going home. Well, that sucks. It's me, Gary. How's it going? Exactly, Larry. How's the real world, Benjamin, dude? Well, real world is just fine. I posted a couple articles about rates. We can talk about that for a minute. If you're an owner-operator or a lease op, especially if you're in the spot market, we can talk about that a little bit. Kevin is headed to Ohio with dead chickens. Are you solo right now? Ashley Furniture, I hear that's a good gig, says Larry Fisher. Those Ashley Furniture trucks seem to be pretty nice. Is that the case, Ralph, or am I just going by the paint job? And also, do they load you with the backhaul to go back, or is it round trip? Ducky just went swimming with ducks. Awesome. Bruno. Mike Minter. How's it going? Jason Perry. So you guys probably saw my post on Facebook where I talked about I made keto-friendly ice cream. And it was awesome. And the family enjoyed it. And it was kind of funny because someone commented on that thread about, is it RVT approved? And I put, who's RVT, right? And they're like, seriously? And because anybody on YouTube's heard of RVT, whether you like them or not, right? And I think it's funny that the people are kind of anti-keto because he's keto, which I didn't know he was keto. And because I'm not subscribed to him, right? And I believe Trucker Woody, who gets a lot of hate, is also keto. And it's not like these people have full copyright, on keto, being ketogenic, leading a low carb, high fat lifestyle. So, we talked about how that person ends up in everybody's mouths, everybody's heads, But it was not Woody, nor was it RBT that decided that was the deciding factor of me going low carb. So, alrighty, Trucker's Table. You're at the Petro in North Baltimore, Ohio. I've been there a few times. They are loaded. I'm point to point, drop a customer, drop yard, then butter, Pepsi, or stuff plant. Okay. Godfrey hauls some of those Ashley loads. Yep. Big Houston, what's up? Dr. Berg has keto ice cream, I think. It was a simple recipe, man. They told me, Jason Perry and Provost and Gary, I believe. It's me, Gary. We were talking on Zello, and they said, yeah, just put that monk fruit sweetener and heavy whipping cream and shake the crap out of it for like 5 minutes and throw it in the freezer. And before it gets too hard, boom, wait till it gets soft serve consistency. And that's exactly what I did. And the family loved it. And I made it too sweet for my taste. When you avoid sugar for so long, just a little bit. I mean, I think I put maybe a quarter cup, if that, for, I like a half of one of those tall things of heavy whipping cream and like some vanilla. I just like, I don't measure, So I've never been a measuring recipe guy, but it was really good. I'm going to have to try Provost's chocolate version where you put unsweetened chocolate in it. We just made some this evening, says Mike. It's in the freezer right now. Tried it before putting it in. Tasted just like ice cream. Yes, Bruno. You want to get it hard enough that it's not like you can't spoon it out, but definitely, that soft serve consistency, which is only about 2 or 3 hours. Just call it the real food way of eating. There you go, little white coach. That's what it is, man. Meat and vegetables, right? Steel Horse, Kansas bound, listening to metal. What are you listening to there, Mr. Steel Horse? Oh, I've got some exciting news, by the way, when it comes to metal. Clyde, how's it going? Charles Anderson, what's up? Oh, let dog in. What's up, hero? My wife says you look like ZZ Top. I'll take that compliment. I wish I had their money. Benjamin Duke, ice cream sounds good. My problem is I intend to eat the 1 cup and then end up devouring a gallon or more. Benjamin Duke, but you can do that with this stuff. Time to go dancing. Look at Thomas Wilson partying it up. Are you going to do another video, Sir Thomas? Vanilla bean is the only one you need. LOL, right? Lamb of God. Cool, Steel Horse. I'll let you guys in a little secret. Apnea got to open up for Lamb of God. Long time ago. And what was funny is it was probably our biggest show. And the singer was so drunk that we didn't know if he was going to make it all the way through the set. But I believe he's sober now, and we saw him with Slayer last year. They sounded pretty good. Lamb of God is a very solid sounding band. They're like Pantera mixed with death metal, I guess, is how I would describe them. Good evening, Big Road Little Truck. What's up? We had filet mignon at Texas Roadhouse, green beans and salad. There you go. Tonight for dinner we had rotisserie chicken. The family had potato salad, and I had regular salad. So I may have snuck a spoonful of potato salad. Um, but speaking of eating style, my wife took a picture of me. See if I can find it here. Now, for the last 5 years, I've been watching myself go from 2X shirts to 3X shirts. And then it was 4X shirts. And then I tapped into a couple of 5X shirts. I like my shirts to feel big on me, so that's part of that. And I remember NextGen and I were talking, last year when I first started this. And I got kind of emotional with them when I was talking about the t-shirts. And here's why, because I've been able to go to some amazing concerts in the last 3 years. This owner operator gig has allowed me the money to go to some concerts, which we have been able to do for a while. And the only problem is a lot of metal bands don't sell 4X t-shirts. The ones that do instantly get my business. Same thing with the trucking shirts. When I was at Gats and Matt's, anybody who had 4X shirts, I supported them. And now I'm starting to fit into 3X shirts. And so today, what I did was I was able to start collecting all my 4X shirts, and they're being put away and then eventually donated, right? Why are you putting them away? Well, you never know, right? I don't intend to go there, but maybe I'll find a friend that, might need them, right? So all my 4X shirts, with the exception of what I'm wearing now, the ones that are in the washer, are all put away. And I bust out my 3X shirts, which are primarily heavy metal t-shirts. And it feels good. Now, here's where it gets interesting, right? So my wife goes, you ought to try on a 2X. Just to see, because I have a ton of 2X metal t-shirts, right? That have been put away for the last 5 years. Well, I was able to wear one today. Let's see if I can reduce this glare here. There's an app called Dimly, which is a blue light filter. And so you guys that try to show the phone to the computer screen, now you can see it, right? There I am. My gut still hangs out a little bit. I got that stupid grin on my face. But that is progress. That is a 2X shirt. I have not been able to wear a 2X shirt in a long, long time, since before I was driving a truck. Now, with that being said, I also tried on the shirt that I was married in, that I married my wife in. And that was back in the year 2000. And I was able to wear it. That is a bigger victory than any number on the scale, any measurement that you can take. That is the big victory. And that is a wave that I'm riding now with this food thing. Went to my wife's niece daughter had a birthday party. And they had donuts and lemonade and pizza, and I did not partake at all. And was getting a few compliments, and that's the other kind of cool high is that, like when I ran into Big Rig CEO, he hadn't seen me in a while, and he was just like, wow, Roscoe at Matt's, he couldn't get over it, and that makes you feel good when people are still floored, even though they've seen you on video, they've talked to you, they've seen you Facebook pictures, but when they see it in person, they're like, wow, okay. And so I feel pretty good about that. So yeah. What's the good news? I've gained 10 pounds. I have no clue how. Thomas Wilson. You and I need to talk someday on the phone privately. Thank you guys. Screaming Dean, what's up? Still got a Metallica Ride the Lightning shirt, my favorite. Steel Horse, my first t-shirt, heavy metal t-shirt, was a Metallica Ride the Lightning bootleg from the fair. Paid, I don't know, $15 for it. And after the second washing, it was like, it shrunk up. And it didn't have any print on the back. It wasn't official Metallica merchandise. Thank you, Elizabeth. The camera does add 10 pounds. You're right, little Viking coach. I noticed that. I noticed in some of my GoPro vlogs, I'm like, it doesn't look like I've lost a lot of weight. But, but more importantly, I feel like I have. And I'm telling you, man, I'm horrible with clothes. I can't. I'm going through this little shift, right? That it's a threshold. And if I go this direction, I'm going to become a hoarder. And if I go this direction, I'm going to become a minimalist. So I'm trying to find the right balance down the middle. When it comes to t-shirts, I have trouble getting rid of them. But alas, I got a trash bag full of shirts and it's going to go to, thrift store or whatever. And probably the DAV. And then I'll put away the 4X shirts, and after a while, I'll be confident enough to get rid of them. Steve Berger, what's up? I hope all is well in your world. I was just telling the world that I'm able to wear more heavy metal t-shirts because I can fit in them now. And it turns out that the majority of metal shirts that I own are bands that you guys have probably never heard of. One is Apnea. I got all the Apnea shirts, right? We put out like probably 8 shirts. Some are 2X, and I can't fit in those yet. At least not all of them, right? The 2X shirts are still put away. And here, when I hit 250 pounds, I'll bust them out to see where we're at on those. But the fact I was able to put it on, and my gut wasn't showing, not underneath the shirt, that's pretty cool. Benjamin Duke says, you're showing your resolve to succeed in various avenues. Very cool. Rewards for your hard work. Well, thank you, Benjamin Duke. But I will say this. People compliment me for the diet stuff, working hard, and I don't know. I just can't. I don't think of it as work at all. It's come very easy to me. The last time I lost a ton of weight, I lost about 60 pounds doing a juice fast, and that was a ton of work, a ton of misery, a ton of just heartache and resentment, a lot of waste, a lot of frustration, and that weight came back on and then tenfold, right? I lost 60, gained 100. This is easy, sustainable, and I don't see myself ever going back. I really don't. Because the rewards have been way better than this time than they were last time. And it's those rewards that you ride the wave. The frustration of feeling overweight, where it hurts to lay down, it hurts to stand up, it hurts to do anything. And you're just sitting there in your own misery and guilt and depression. I never want to go back to that. There's not enough sugar or desserts or food on this planet that would want me to go back to that. You watched me on the first video I seen you in, and you look totally different. Yeah, I do. I gained weight after my ex-wife and I split. Her cooking had me looking like starving Marvin. Well, you need to find yourself a woman that can't cook then, Screaming Demon. The food system is broken. Little Vine Coach, you are absolutely correct. That Jason Fung video, The Roots of Obesity, proves that. Pale Rider is late. Don Shonger, my sister also. I missed a comment from you. I don't know what you're saying there, Don. The pain is in the inflammation. You're all right, Little Vine Coach. The amount of inflammation alone that is decreased is just incredible. And I think that's the root of a lot of pain and misery. You know, I watch an overweight person and you can see their ankles swollen up and turning colors. And it's just, you know, it's not good. Little Vine Coach is tough on truckers because we have so little time to eat. Most are just looking for something quick and back on the road. Not all the restaurant food is best for a guy. I got a text from somebody else and I put it on your live feed by accident. It's a good thing it wasn't anything racy or something. So, been hauling a lot of this water stuff lately. Screaming Demon. Okay, so I've been trying to do these little food tips, and that is one of the reasons why this keto thing's been easy, is because if you pick the right foods, that I mean, you can get convenience food. It's there, and then once you become what they call fat adapted, then you're not wanting to grab something every time you enter a truck stop. You know, I was that guy. I get breakfast in the morning, and then usually about noon or 1, I'm getting fuel. I'll grab something then, and then at dinner, I'd cook my dinner or go inside and grab something and chill out watching TV and, you know, gorging myself. And then wake up and do it again the next day. Whereas, you know, like today, for example, I didn't eat breakfast. We went to this birthday party about 11. Smelled the pizza, saw the donuts, and I was just like, and I was hungry a little bit, but not starving, ravenous, you know. And then we got home about 2:30. Actually, it was later than that. It was about 3. I grabbed a couple of hot dogs and some vegetables, and then we just had dinner. That was it. I had some olives as a snack, I think, before we left, maybe. Maybe it was after we got home. I think it was right when we got home. Have you guys ever been hungry where you've got the shakes, like, and you're just ravenous, like you could just tear anything apart, right? With this eating style, it's more even killed. When you're hungry, it's not like an emergency, you need to eat now. And that's what makes it easy for me, is that I'm not like, because when you're really hungry, you make bad decisions, you know. You know, you're like, oh man, I could eat a horse, you know. It's not like that. And if you soldier through it, eventually that hunger goes away. Oh, let's go with some comments. You guys are commenting here. Charles Anderson, that's why I'm doing keto. It truly helps with joint pain. Absolutely. Screaming Demon. Jason Perry says, Screaming Demon. I'm an OTR driver. Drop a weight every day. It's easy if you want to change your life, but you have to want. Jason, you know, I don't know if it's want as much as frustration. You have to have that aha moment. Sometimes frustration is what does that. I try to stay away from the fast food and whatnot. Same way with the sugary drinks and try not to eat too much junk, chips, etc. Well, little changes. That's how I lost my first 20 pounds. Bacon sausage, eggs for breakfast, no potatoes, no bread. There you go, Pale Rider. You're at the TA in Hebron, says Gary. Get a bunch of pre-cooked bacon from Aldi's. It's cheap and better than beef jerky. Eat it cold or warm and in the microwave. Little Mike Coach, that's exactly what I do. I buy that pre-cooked bacon. You don't even have to have it refrigerated. And that tides you over with the boiled eggs. Eat collard greens, pinto beans, cornbread, fatback, Strickland, hog, jowl, stewed tomatoes, soul food, baby. I will agree, except for the pinto beans and cornbread. But pork jowl bacon is really good. I'll do tomatoes. Cutting back on the bread is a good thing. Look at Pale Rider getting healthy. No more trips to the hospital. Right, little Viking Coach. I worry about him sometimes. Instead of pop and whatnot, I do a lot of water with lemon. There you go. And the sparkling flavored water is really good too. Like bubbly or the flavored Perrier, or just regular Perrier. Metallica approves the bacons on their rider. Well, they're a smart band then. Bunch of millionaires can't be all wrong, right? Beef jerky's okay. Thing would keep beef jerky is you got all these flavors. You got all these like barbecue sauce or teriyaki or that kind of stuff. And you just got to get plain. However, that pre-cooked bacon that LVC is talking about, that's cheaper than like the bacon jerky or any jerky at the truck stops. So if you do hit Walmart and you do like beef jerky, which I do, I'll get it there. So. Stu Manchu, if I eat breakfast, I'm starving 5 hours later. If I skip breakfast, I'm good with only one meal a day. Stu Manchu, you need to watch my Butter Made My Pants Fall Off by Butter Bob. He explains why that happens. That is an insulin reaction. Obesity is a hormonal imbalance, not a caloric imbalance. And, anxiety is caused by sugar. I definitely agree there. Big Rig CEO, what is up? I enjoyed the live feed that Big Rig CEO and I did. And he took naturally to it, didn't he? James will make a good live feed person if he goes that route, if he can get the subs up. $2.79 a box at Aldi's. I think Walmart's like $3, maybe it's $2.80, $3, somewhere around there. Got to charge the battery. Bye-bye, Steve. Looking great. I'm going to snack on yogurt my wife made. I got a dehydrator a couple of Christmas ago, and I make my own jerky a few times a year. Well, that's cool, Turkish Table. Wish I had that kind of time. Grizzly Adams, right? Spud Runner. Some beef jerky is loaded with sodium and sugar. Yeah, you're right, Spud Runner. It's you got to be careful of that. I mean, bacon, ham has a little small amounts of sugar, so it's not like I'm 100% sugar free. But I do tend to avoid the ones that like the maple flavored bacon, jerky, crap like that. No, but yeah, I was pretty happy that I was able to fit in the 2X shirt. So, but we're not quite wearing them in public just yet. If you make your own, you can switch up the ingredients to eliminate that. Right. I agree. You can season it the way you like. I like a little cayenne pepper and black pepper on mine. Jalapeno bacon. There you go. Man, I dig jalapenos, man. if you're going south from Springfield down through Branson, there was a convenience store, Conoco, that had truck parking, right? And they had this little Mexican cafe in there. And they made the best breakfast burritos. And they also fried, not deep fried, but just, I don't know if they just stick them in the fryer raw, but they would fry jalapenos. And Big Rick Seal was the one that told me about that place. And I loved it. And it was like playing with fire. One wouldn't be that bad, another one would light you up. And so I got to the point where when I was home, I would make them at home. I would just get a bunch of oil, fry them up, and I would eat them and sweat and choke a little bit, and it was really. I need to get back to that. And then like when I get the Subway salads, like I showed on my video, I'm telling put all the banana peppers and the jalapenos in there. It kind of spices things up. Wrangler makes nice work t-shirts called Rigs. I get them in tall, very heavyweight. Yeah, well, my coach, I have I think the Dickies and maybe Stanley. Those are good shirts. But yeah, and you don't even need a dehydrator to make beef jerky. I think you just need an oven and put it at the right temperature, right? Doesn't the spicy stuff like that speed up your metabolism? I don't know. Get the Rigs. They're probably expensive, aren't they? But like I said, man, it feels good, right? And I can't get the message enough out there how good I feel about all of it, right? Um, you really don't realize how much your body's telling you until you get to a certain point, I feel right like crispy onion rings. Oh, that's funny. Steak and ribs on the grill at the terminal in California. Stater Brothers, $4.99 for ribeyes. That's pretty good. All right, Seaburger, you take it easy. I wish Burger would do a guitar video. I was thinking about doing a guitar video, but things are all kind of messed up in the band room right now. Screaming Demon has had a rough divorce. Rough marriage. Need more jam videos. Yeah, but if I do that too much, you guys will figure out that I can't play guitar. But anything else you guys want to talk about? We're only at 30 minutes, and I try to do these for an hour unless we are interrupted. The tornado footage. I don't know if you guys saw my video on that. The GoPro does not do it justice, nor does it show you the stuff that you see on the side, because you can't hold the camera while you're driving because that's not legal. GoPro's mounted on the dash, but Jefferson City got hit pretty hard, and it's going to take a while to get over that. No, I'm no millionaire, low light coach. I've just sacrificed garage space. Bad tarping by rookies. How frustrating that can be. Trucker's life. That's why I don't do flatbed. Do I have a bowling alley? No, but I went bowling today, low light coach. I pulled a 107. I am not professional by no means. Now, I don't know if you guys. Let's talk about rates a little bit. Let's bore the crap out of non-owner operators, right? Let me find this article on Facebook. Elizabeth says, I love your morning coffee video. Which one? I got 6 of them. Been doing Dodge tornadoes all week, Texas, Illinois, Joplin. Yeah, Johnny, it's been pretty bad. You know, it's funny, the one that hit Jefferson City that night in Joplin, that day, they weren't really forecasting anything. It was really nice outside. And then all of a sudden they're like they went on full alert, like, hey, by the way, the forecast changed and we're screwed tonight. And sure enough, they were right. Yeah, it got pretty bad. And it's like this anniversary, the 8-year anniversary of the big Joplin tornado. Anyways, I posted an article on my Facebook page at Snowerlord. I predict that the slump in freight that happens after the 4th of July is going to be bad. At least that's what I'm telling myself to be prepared. So we'll talk about that. I posted an article about, the title of it was Weekly Market Update by FreightWaves.com. The sky may have fallen. And last year, I watched the spot markets drop and drop and drop and drop, right? And not by much. And then just when you think there's a freight boom, the volume gets bad. Just when you think, okay, oh yeah, just wait till April, it picks up. And then after April was done, it never picked up. And everybody's like, well, April's always slow. So which is it, right? But I do know that 4th of July, I made good money because I worked over the 4th of July. And then volume took a big dump. Rates started to drop even more so. And if you look at my numbers from July, they were not impressive, right? And there might have been a spike here or there for like a week, like oh, it's a little bit easier to get that $2 a mile, you know, that kind of thing. But for the most part, June was way better than July. And I honestly think, and I hope I'm wrong. I want to be wrong, right? But I'm prepared like I'm not going to be wrong. But I think that after the 4th of July, rates are going to tank pretty low. That it's going to be very frustrating. And if you don't have good relationships with brokers or you don't have a steady gig lined up, it's going to get tough. It's going to be cutthroat. And you're going to start to see everybody's frustrations as people start losing their trucks. You're going to start seeing the used truck market. I'm already seeing like dealerships with twice as many used trucks as they used to have. I believe it's going to hit a wall. And I won't be surprised if the DAT average goes down to $1.40 a mile. That's my prediction. Now, what am I going to do about it? Reduce my costs, run smarter, try to put as much away as I can. So when the big breakdown happens, we're golden, right? Can you explain why the rates would go down if the cost of goods doesn't go down? Because of capacity, it's a supply and demand market. That's our whole industry. you have, I think it was like 18% more trucks hauling spot market freight with a 5% or 8% decrease in volume. So at one point last year, like the first half of last year, it was some places were as high as 10 trucks or 10 loads for every truck. Now it's like one load for a truck or 5 loads for every truck, or I mean, 5 trucks for every load. When there's more trucks than loads, that's what creates the low prices. And all that market information that DAT and that Sonar gives out, guess what? Guess who else uses that? All the videos that talk about how to negotiate with brokers, the tricks of the trade, guess who else watches that? The smart brokers, the smart agents that love what they do and have to be good at what they do, they're on the opposite side. So they know what we're thinking, they know what we're feeling, they know what they can get away with, and they know what they can't get away with. But it's all supply and demand. It's that simple. And with the tariffs and the weather and all these different contributing factors, the fact remains it's all supply and demand. And it's not until carriers start dropping off that you will see capacity change in our favor. But when you have load rate, I mean, that's what think about Denver. Like Makes Sense does a video where he talks about the load ratios. That's the most important data information you can look at when you're on the DAT board is how many loads are going in and how many loads are coming out of each state. If you look at Colorado, it's always higher going in than coming out. So you never get a good rate out of Colorado unless it's something specialized or desperate to move. Same thing with Florida. Now, when produce kicks in, then Florida becomes a little bit better. Then South Texas comes a little bit better. But the tariffs are affecting things too. It's affecting the ports, which affects our freight as well. So let's go with some other questions here. Going to be bad tonight in northern Missouri, Mike Williams. You guys got hit, like what part of northern, like St. Louis or Kansas City? Because I know Kansas City got hammered last night. Jay did a whole live feed about it. He did like a 6-hour live feed. Martin just bought hundreds of new flat tops. Cascadias must have got a stupid good deal. Old style Cascadias all new. Elizabeth loves all the coffee videos. That was one of my favorite, the one that I did this morning. Well, thank you. Talk about California. Everyone's stacked up ahead of the tariffs. Now everyone's sitting on inventory. Dennis, that's exactly right. They trickled the freight in. Just in time is out the window. Just in time was how you made your money. And they figured out, and I don't know if you guys have noticed, but if you've been to Walmart lately, it seems like they've been more out of stuff. Like they're not fully stocking everything. It's kind of weird. And I'm not talking just like 1 or 2 Walmarts. I've been to like 8 different Walmarts across the nation. They all have like big gaps in their produce section or big gaps in the in some of the other sections. And the rates are so low right now that the rail is competing with us as well. And people are choosing to ship on truck instead of rail because it's so cheap right now. Have you ever had any luck scoring a direct shipper? USD Pulp. No. When it comes to direct shippers, here's what you're competing against. You got number one, you got the big name brokers that come in, and then like say a place like Springfield, Missouri, there's a ton of big carriers here. You got Prime, IWX, RBX, Transland. Ozark has a terminal here. Um, you know, Steelman. I mean, there's all kinds of companies here. So they have the knowledge and the power to come in, because the thing about direct shippers that makes it easier to get those is being able to invest in equipment, invest in drop trailers. And so my strategy has been in good with the brokers that have the direct freight out of the shippers here in Springfield, and that's been working for me. Um, because I'm just a one man show. I can't drop a trailer, and a lot of these direct shippers, they want capacity. They want to know that if they have 10 loads a week that need to be moved, that you can move them, and they're not going to bother with a mom and pop operation like me. With that being said, though, it is possible. I have a friend that works for another spot market company who's got a pretty good deal hauling for a direct shipper, even though it's still under his, the company's authority. And he's doing well with that. So I haven't tried, but I definitely look for things when I do pick up loads around here. Pappy's trying to get his stuff in the game. What's up, Pappy? Does Walmart change their shipping practices? What's going on with that? You heard Schneider got kicked out of Walmart, so maybe they were missing deliveries. Yeah, Line Coach, I've heard that there's a few accounts in Ohio where Walmart dropped Schneider. I'm not sure who picked it up. And the flooding in the center of the country is hurting the rail industry and lower trucking rates. So the trucks are the way the shippers are going right. And all this rain and snow that we've gotten this year has definitely made an impact on the farming aspect. Which, if you think about all the industries that are impacted by farming, I was talking to Steelhorse about that. And he's a farm boy, and he told me about all these different aspects that just made sense, and it was 100% accurate. All these kicking the crap out of traditional grocery stores. Levi Coach, you are absolutely correct. Walmart opened a bunch of little grocery stores around here, and they've put the mom and pops out of business. The only grocery chains that survive the Walmart thing is the high-end grocery chains, the ones that have the high-end meat, like Harder House or Ruby's, places like that. And so it's specialty items that Walmart does not deal with. I think that's the main way that they're able to compete. But then the price markup is just extraordinary, and then Aldi's as well. I hear you, Pappy. Big Rose says Snyder's out of Washington Courthouse, and Walmart trucks are covering it. Right. If you guys haven't noticed, Walmart's on a big hiring spree, right? Because they want to start doing most of the freight themselves. Yep, they are adding their own trucks. Publix. Yeah, Publix is a high end. I have a boycott against Publix, so I will never set foot in a Publix. You're right. Little White Coast says Aldi only has 3 employees in a store. They work them to death. That's absolutely true. It's all about reducing costs, and so that's why, the food's so cheap there. Talked to a TQL chick, says Overtax Minnesota, about a load. She said the best she could do was $625. 5 minutes later, we talked to a different person at TQL. Net quoted us $750 for the exact same load. Overtax in Minnesota, that is a common thing that I've ran across. I've actually increased the rate by changing who I'm talking to. Pale Rider says I'm opening a chain of grocery stores called Pale Rider Foods and such. Pale Rider, unfortunately, I won't be able to go because you won't sell broccoli. What happened at Publix? Okay, so let's talk about that. My aunt and uncle lived in Port St. Lucie, Florida. And my company sent me to Port St. Lucie to deliver. And they couldn't drive at night, but they wanted to really see me. So this is before Uber. And I was still too far away for a taxi cab. My aunt went down to Publix that had plenty of room and begged them to let me park there so I could visit them. And they said, hell no. And had I been able to see them, that would have been the last time I would have saw my aunt. So she begged the store manager. I even offered to pay the guy, and he was just, no, can't do it. So that's why I have a grudge against Publix. Now, I don't come across Publix too often. Before all that went down, I used to deliver at the Bass Pro distribution center there in Macon, and I would bobtail to the one in Macon and run in and run out literally. But and they're kind of high priced too. I do like their produce and deli section, so they got some good stuff. We don't have them here in Missouri. Blue White Coach, why'd you take down the videos? LBC, did you take down a bunch of videos? Gary says justified grudge, right? Read that Walmart was supposed to bring in 1,000 trucks. Not sure if the number is accurate. I'm hearing the same thing, Anthony. Lance says, sorry to hear that. They're on every corner down here in Florida and Lakeland and Jacksonville, DC's, of course. Yeah, my sister was, I think I did step foot in one when we were on vacation. My sister lives in Lakeland. We were visiting her. But devil's advocate here, I do not blame Publix for their stance on that because of how drivers treat the parking lots to where they park. I do not blame them. So it's a shame. Do you guys remember my mattress video? When I first saw the mattress, I wanted to rave. Not rave, but I wanted to rant about how crummy drivers treat the parking lots, right? That was a brand new Lowe's, by the way. But you know what? I tried to take a more positive approach, right? I was entertaining, making a farce of the situation. So I'm bringing attention to it, but I'm not all like raw, anger. It's all about like, look how stupid this is, right? And I think that a lot of drivers could stand to do messages like that more, I think. Maybe. I don't know. I could be wrong. More likely I'm wrong. But I thought it was more entertaining to make a video like that than a rant video about how crummy people are. I'll spend some if they own the property as well. Yeah, you're right, Charles. Trucks park ever so often at the public closest to our place. You probably just came across an a-hole. Or somebody who had a really bad experience with the truck. Lucid foam mat about 150, awesome. Mattresses and chocolate Bill Ryder. Yep. Give it time, you won't be able to park at Walmarts. Brian, that's already happening. There's a Walmart in Arkansas. I'm trying to remember what mile marker it is. They had actual truck parking for a while. And then one day I was going to go in there and they had the yellow barriers up. And the time that I was there before the yellow barriers went up, the parking lot was trashed. To the point that I picked up some trash and threw it away. And I think I blogged about it. Remember blogs? You guys remember that? I had a blog. It still exists called Downtime. And I talked about that. But anyways, for a couple of years, those yellow barriers were up, right? Then they took them down. I was able to park in there one more time. And again, the parking lot was trashed. And then the next thing you know, the barriers are back up. So, yeah. It was getting a little ugly for me, Johnny. I just did them for fun. Didn't want to get labeled a hater. Maybe put them back up when things calm down. It's a shame that it had to come to that, little bike coach, right? I'm at Lowe's at Troutdale. 4 open spots have poop bags this morning. That's crazy. I delivered to a Publix DC in Orlando. Really bad experience. They were very nasty towards drivers from outside carriers. Yeah, I talked to a guy that used to be a manager for Publix, and he was always miserable. So I mean, I don't know. I don't know the chain very well, but all I know is that the one in Port St. Lucie wouldn't let me park. It bummed me out, and you know, even though I understand it, it was still a crappy situation. Ray David, what's up? At least put up the vid with Giant Burger. Yeah, Little White Coach, I don't understand why certain videos were removed. Big Tex, what's up? How's it going? How are you surviving these good rates? How are you doing it? You doing all right? Doing good. There you go. I'm going to start doing some weightlifting a little bit, to kind of beef up the arms. So I got some dumbbells I'm going to put in the truck. Definitely going to start walking more. Maybe morning coffee will turn into morning walks. But, it's hard to do a video walking because, number one, you don't want to hear me huff and puff. And number two, if it's windy, it's just miserable, even with the GoPro. I only intended to do the Thor video and take the channel down. It just got out of hand, too busy to make videos. Yeah, little bike coach, but your health videos have been pretty cool. Big Tex, got a direct shipper and run to Florida and then Houston back to Fort Worth. There you go. Awesome. You figured it out. Some Bass Pro shops still at Trucks Park. Charles, I've never seen a truck-friendly Bass Pro parking lot. I almost went to jail because of a Bass Pro parking lot. That's a story that I think I've told before. Cabela's, however, does have truck parking. So there's that. And Bass Pro just recently bought Cabela's. It's up to the manager at your local Walmart if trucks can park there unless it's a local ordinance. Right, Steelhorse. That is true. Sometimes it's out of their control. So what I look for in the Walmarts that have actual truck slanted parking, like Vandalia, Illinois, Lamar, Missouri, a couple places in Nebraska, and then some places you can improvise, but it's easy in and easy out, like Wagner, Oklahoma. I want to say Chakota or Pryor, Chakotay, however you say it, which I think is underwater right now. Kohl's is always near Walmart too. Tallahassee, Florida, there are at least 5 or 6 parked there every time I drive by. Little Mike goes, should be told Pale Rider threatened great bodily harm to me if I didn't take them down. I believe that, little white coach. Pale Rider can be a mean guy. See, people think that Pale Rider's this nice dude. No, no. That is just the image he puts on YouTube. That's it. He threatened to hurt me if I didn't make him a song. That's how that went down. Then he got mad at me, so he took it down for a minute. And then now he's using it again because he's threatened me with something else. Cabela's on I-35 in Fort Worth became daytime parking only. Drivers trashed the hell out of it. Anthony, that bummed me out too because I delivered in Grand Prairie. Couldn't find a load to save my life. Finally found one, but it didn't pick up till the next day. It didn't pick up till Tuesday. So I went to that Pilot, knowing that the odds were going to be low, but there was the Cabela's right there, right? I circled that Pilot probably 18 times. I could not get it. I was waiting for someone to leave, and this was at noon. That's it was like 11 o'clock, 12 o'clock in the day. And I knew it was bad. It's not like I was under this impression like, oh, I might get lucky, you know. So I went to Cabela's, and what do I see everywhere? Signs, no overnight parking. And I see trucks with no drivers in them, and I thought, well, I wonder how much they enforce it. But I didn't want to take the chance of suddenly getting kicked out in the middle of the night, and then that screws up my clock, and I'd be late for the pickup because I've already lost a day. So I drove another 15 miles south to Denton and stayed there, and actually paid for a spot there. But you couldn't even buy a spot at Pilot. That was the problem. You can park here. Big text, you'll have to shoot me your address. Read the comments. See something, say something to the slobs. Well, overtaxed, it's usually after the fact. I mean, you know, it's usually after the fact. You can park there overnight. They don't enforce that. The last time I was able to stay at that Pilot, I was making a delivery nearby, and they're like, oh, by the way, this is a drop. I'm like, a drop? You know, the broker pulled a fast one and didn't tell me it was going to be a 24-hour drop. But you know what? I was almost out of hours, so I thought, you know what? I'll drop this. And then I just won't start my clock until they got me unloaded. And I had an open window, so it shouldn't have been too bad. So I went to the bobtail section, literally got the last bobtail spot. And that's where I parked. Yeah, there's Cabela's in Gary, and then there's one in Pennsylvania off this. Is it 78? Burger's not in here anymore. You can tell me. Gary could. But Bass Pro, I bet, dude. When I was at Transline, we had contract to do all the new stores as they were being built, you know, deliver their stuff. And those parking lots were atrocious. And then we would deliver the Bass Pro stores in Foxborough at the stadium. That's the one I almost went to jail. Freeville, New York, which that one was cool because it was in a mall. And you could back up to the dock, spend the night, and hang out in the mall. Freeville, New York. And then there's a couple in Kansas City area, Overland Park, and I forget the other one. It's on the Kansas side. That one's a tough gig to get into. And then the DC and Macon isn't too bad, but I don't know. It's a pain in the butt. Yeah, Anthony. And you know, and there's an app called Truckers Notes where you can kind of keep track of that, of parking, and just kind of what I do is I like to find those hiding spots and I'll mark them on my GPS and I'll call it like Dallas hiding spot. And, you know, unfortunately though, a lot of my hiding spots get taken up because either that industrial place you know, gets a business put in there, or the cop starts cracking down. Like I used to deliver in Mechanicsburg all the time, Mechanicsburg, Pennsylvania, and the road that we used to deliver on, you could park there overnight on the side of the road, right? And in fact, the shipper would drop trailers on the road. And then one day the cops started writing tickets left and right. And next thing you know, can't park there anymore. Gotta fly. Just wanted to pop in and say hello, stay safe, and enjoy. Pappy, you have a good day. You have a good weekend. Be safe yourself. Just paid $8,000 for a set of injectors, Steve. Hurt like hell. Ugh. That's gotta hurt. In your new truck? Surely that new truck didn't need injectors already. Uh-oh. What happened to my print? Let's see here. I was only seeing the top chat. There you go. Wow, so if I missed your comments, anybody, I wasn't ignoring you. I had it on top chat for some reason instead of live chat. I don't know what the major difference is. Wow, a new truck already. That's crazy. Have you heard that KLM bought Maverick? Really? That's crazy. I haven't heard that. Selling. I went to those areas so much to sell on. In CalArc, I started shutting down there. Yeah, it's pretty cool when you can find a good industrial area that you can kind of take advantage of. That's why it's good to take notes. Use your GPS for marking those areas. But no, I did not hear KLM bought Maverick. Like the flatbed side or the reefer side? Oh, the reefer division. Yeah, that was kind of a strange thing. Maverick's got, they had the pneumatic tank division too. And I was really surprised when they had the reefer division. I was like, that's kind of an oddball thing for a flatbed company, but only refrigerated part of Maverick sold. Yeah, I figured eventually that was going to happen. So, but I do not follow the reefer companies, right? But buckle in, man. It's going to be a bumpy ride. And one of the main brokers I work with out of Springfield that had one of the biggest shippers out of this area, they lost that account. And I haven't quite figured out who's got it. And whether they're a company that we can run for. So I have to figure that out. But I've been holding pretty steady with another broker. The competition froze them out. Oh, that's silly. That's silly, Steel Horse. Now, those of you doing contract freight, you're not safe either. Because if shippers are saving money, they all talk to each other and they're saving money on the spot market. What happens to all the contract rates? They go down. Some of you Landstar boys are starting to see that pinch. And some of you Schneider guys are starting to see changes in your freight and what's steady for you. And you're starting to see rates come down a little bit on some things, but not all things. Right now, the summertime snack, water, soda, beer, and all the stuff associated with that is hot and heavy right now. And it's going to be like that till the 4th of July, and then it's going to drop like a rock. Steve, I get to pick up my trailer Wednesday, time the truck. So if you're in the Frankfurt area, breakfast on me. Sweet. Well, Jeff, you know where I'm heading. Where I'll be Thursday. So, Thursday breakfast. Yeah, if I get back that way, I'll be I got to find a load going back west because I got to be home for a thing shindig. Charles Anderson, cancel us what we will see here at Schneider. Right. You know, there were certain times of the year. Schneider was good about consistency. However, there were certain times of the year where canceled loads, you know, and notice I used air quotes on that. Canceled loads happened a lot more. And the trailer pool got weird. You know, places where you normally would get empty, you don't. And then places where, you know, the trailer pool gets all screwed up, especially when they lose a major customer in an area or a major customer changes. So, but yeah, I'll take you up on that meal there, Jeff, if we cross paths. You know me and my I-70 thing. I bet flatbed will pick up materials going to flood tornado ravaged areas. Right. But you know what, Anthony? I have a friend that she has her own authority, and she is able to do these government FEMA contracts without having to go through a broker. And so a lot of that is nabbed up. A lot of the like the hurricanes that happened last year, that did increase rates. The year before it did, but not last year because contracts were made. They figured out how to not have to pay $4 a mile or to pay a driver $1,000 a day to sit somewhere for a month, like they did for Katrina. You know, and that's the thing, man. When prices get astronomically high, they're going to come down because if they don't, it throws the whole system into whack. You know. Pale Rider too. You look at you, man. That Pale Rider would be good in the spot market with that kind of negotiating. He doesn't want Wednesday dinner or breakfast on Thursday. He wants both, Jeff. So Pale Rider, if you're in the area, I'm sure Jeff will oblige. I mean, you already went to Indiana once. You can do it again. You can do it again. But I can't wait to see your little trailer there, Jeff, because I know you got all the bells and whistles. I got the no frills, like here's a trailer, some wheels. And by the way, I had to replace the tire already. I bought one of them cheap Rodex tires from TA last year in Mount Vernon around, I think, April or May. That tire was already bad. Already bad. So I went and spent the money and got that tire replaced. Meanwhile, the original tires that came with the trailer, they're all good. It's just that one trailer tire I had to replace because of a nail. It just, I don't know. You definitely get what you pay for when it comes to tires. Jeff does cover the tip. Jeff went out of his way to pick us all up at Matt's, and we all went out to eat. We all had to huddle in his little pickup there, and that was fun. Might even handle my hot watch. You know, I'm glad you said that. I got to get my lunchbox cooker out of the garage there because my other one died. And I changed the fuse. Okay, so I've been fighting fuse things, right? So in the Kenworth T680, you have 5 12-volt outlets. You got 2 up front. You got one that goes by the microwave, one that goes by the TV on the right side of the truck, the right rear, I guess, right upper rear and right lower rear. And then you got the one that's by the clock and everything on the bedside, left side, right? Well, the fuses aren't all in the same place. So the fuses for the front are in the fuse box over there by the left side where your clutch pedal would be if you have an automatic, or where your clutch pedal is right there, that area. And my lunchbox cooker blew the fuse in the one by the bed and then the one by the microwave. Well, I plugged it up front and it blew up one of the ones in the front. So now I've only got one outlet in front, right? So I changed the fuse for the one by the sleeper head, and that was bad. So I changed that out. Everything's good there, right? So now I've got one back. And then I changed the fuse for the upper right hand, and still doesn't work. That bums me out because I like that one. But the one in front, Jeff, and this is where you come in, I'm having trouble getting to that because of all the wires and everything there, and I'm afraid to mess up something because I know that has to do with ELD. And you can ask Roscoe, Jeff. There's a huge thing of wires, and I cannot like even reach up in there. I thought about hiring my daughter to kind of squeeze in there with the little tools that little tool to pull the right fuse out, because she's got little hands and she could probably get in there. But I can survive with just one on the front for now. And I'm also in the market for a pure sine wave inverter. I got my APU serviced. I told them about the HVAC breaker tripping them for quite often. And they said that if you run any appliances as you're using the heat and air, that'll do that. And I'm like, well, I'm not running anything except an 80-watt the CPAP machine. They're like, well, yeah, that's enough. I'm like, really? But I think they also said that the belt was starting to get loose, and that's why. So we'll see how it performs. So, but if I get the Hot Logic Mini, that'll help that too. So Pale Rider might go up for breakfast and dinner and come back down with a light trucking job. You never know, Anthony. You never know. All right, Jason. Thanks for coming. Big Row Little Truck, let you give me $9.99. I appreciate that. Thank you very much. New Michelin X-Line steer tire. Steel Horse, that's what I've always used up until I was at Schneider. I got a really good deal on Goodyears, and the Peterbilt, the last set of steers in that were the Goodyears, and they lasted pretty good. And then this truck had those same Goodyears that Schneider puts on. I forget what they're called. That they were on the truck brand new when I bought it. And then I replaced them again a year and a half later. And then actually I only had to replace one. And then last year I replaced both of them. One was good, and I got to get a spare tire rack put on the trailer. It's going to be a spare tire. And then, but more than likely, and I've got Goodyears on now, but more likely I'll go back to Michelin. Coffee for the week, Snowlord. Thank you, Big Road. I appreciate that. I'm glad you guys are liking the coffee videos. I don't know if it was a little bit too pretentious or... I don't know, man. It was inspired by this guy named... let me find the name of this YouTube. Where's YouTube at? Bear with me a second, guys. let me I just got an update from him. Bjorn Andres Bull Hansen. See if I can take a screenshot of that. Here, I'll even write it. Let's see here. It's been kind of inspired by some of his videos. I'm not just starting off by talking. Let's see. BJ ORN Andreas Bull Hansen. I'm an awesome typist, by the way. There we go. Check that out. And Viking preparedness. That's another good one. Let me write that one down. You guys heard me say the word Viking. You freaked out for a second, didn't you? Let's see. Prepared. He's got a good channel as well. Nice Iron Maiden cup, by the way. You know where I found that? I found that at a truck stop in Cuba, Missouri. They had Iron Maiden, Kiss. Oh, wait. No. I bought that one maybe at a casino in Ameristar, I think. It was either Ameristar or Cuba, Missouri. Viking preparedness, yeah. Jose DeVal Trucking. Yes, I did. Cool. All righty. Well, we're over an hour. So you know that people aren't going to watch replay now. There you go, Pale Rider. Thank you very much. I put all the coffee videos, the morning thoughts on a playlist. And I'm not going to do one every day, but I'm having fun making them, man. I picked something in my head, and I've written some stuff down, and, coffee is a good time. Coffee time is a good time to reflect about things and, and all that. So, Bjorn's channel. Thank you very much, Pale Rider. It was under that dirty mattress. Yep. So, everybody sub the Big Rig CEO so he get 1,000 subs, because I think he'd make killer live feed videos. I think he would. Go for the famous James Best 5-hour live feed. Nah, man, we can't knock James off his throne there. Mr. Best is the marathon king. I mean, some of these guys do live feeds, like Jake Cannell did a live feed yesterday where it's just showing the storm. He wasn't saying anything, right? Whereas James Best will talk for a whole 6 hours. And anybody who's ever talked to James on the phone, it's not much different, is it? What you see is what you get. There's no persona there. What you see is what you get. What you're seeing is the real James Best. But I'm going to get off here. I got some chores to do. And it's been good. It's been a good live feed, I think. I don't know. I'm egotistical like that. I think it's okay. But now it's more than an hour. I'm not going to go proof listen. So we'll just keep it up. Hope for the best. But I appreciate everybody coming in, watching. And I'm trying to do more one-off videos, not just the morning coffee videos. I am behind on the GoPro stuff. I'm just trying to find motivation. I think I'm going to change a few camera angles and maybe edit things a little shorter to where I'm not long, drawn-out talking as much. And I like Pale Rider's latest vlog. He actually put his head cam on, which I'm going to tell him to do for like the last 2 years. And Provost does that, and he does really a job. Pale Rider went into his trailer, strapped down the load, which was smart because I haul those same type of loads, Pale Rider, when they're centered like that. So I'll strap them just like he did. And those are those loads that I take from Arkansas and Oklahoma. And Trucker Stable, I got to figure out how to shorten my videos. Yeah, it's funny, Trucker Stable. I'll have a bunch of footage on a GoPro. Like I'll pick a theme. Okay, like I'm gonna do this trip from Monday to Wednesday, right? So I'll take my footage and then I'll upload all of it, right? By the time I upload, it's like 2 hours worth of stuff, and then I gotta, it's like a block of wood. You gotta whittle it away, whittle, and you gotta figure out what's important, where you're repeating yourself. I repeat myself a lot. Because on the GoPro, I forget what I just talked about. I've noticed that when I did that with the Right Way video, and so I try to whittle that away, but it's hard on the GoPro because I can't go back to the last clip to see what I've already talked about. And if I go like a full day without between clips, I forget that I've already told you I'm on my way to Ohio and that kind of thing. And then I tend to skip over things that I just assume people know, and then I don't explain myself, and then I draw on about things that aren't really that important to the story. So I'm trying to fix that a little bit. Leave it up so I can cut it up and use the clips out of context. Drama alert. Yeah, Pale Rider and I are getting ready to go and do a big YouTube war, by the way. Just to let you know. But yeah, you just got to whittle away Trucker Stable and what would look at it from a viewer's perspective, and just kind of like, okay, what do you think would be boring to them, and what do you think would be interesting to them? Jose, I appreciate that. I do enjoy making the coffee videos. It was just like, I don't know. It's just something that's coming to me, I guess. I don't know. I have the GoPro Hero 7 Black, and I have the head mount, but I've only used it a couple of times. The Trucker Stable. Pamela B, what's up? War. Pale Rider. Pale Rider should do a compilation playlist of all the times he used apnea music. Make that a playlist. Pamela, you're late. I'm getting ready to end this live feed. Anyways, that's it for tonight, guys. Thank you for joining me on this weekend live. Be safe out there. There's a lot of crazy drivers during 3-day weekends, such as Memorial Day and Veterans Day and Labor Day and all that. You got a lot of people on the interstate that normally aren't on the interstate, so their etiquette or their knowledge is a minimum. They do a lot of stupid stuff. I'm on your purge list. Speaking of that, I wonder if Jake Cannell's in Springfield. I think he was talking about coming to Springfield to do the car show. All have some and some gave all. Anyways, guys, thanks for watching. I appreciate you. I appreciate every single one of you. So that's it. Be safe. Be good. And if you're in the spot market, fasten your seatbelt. It's going to be a ride. Only the strong or the smart will survive. So see you later, guys.